Hey guys, it's David from Primal Code, and today we're going to be looking at my home server. This is a special one because we are virtualizing two machines into the one using VMware. So the system has been running for quite a few months now without any real problems, except there has been a few power blackouts that we've been experiencing lately. Anyhow, the server uses an ASUS P9D-E/4L server motherboard, which has a decent amount of re-IO options for a server application with 4 Ethernet ports. The board has a good amount of SATA ports, USB 3.0, it has a ton of PCI Express lanes, USB 2 options as well, front and rear, same thing with USB 3, has a PS2 port at the rear as well. The 4 Ethernet ports is quite handy to have with this motherboard if you're planning to do a router sort of server application. If you wanted to have the machine act as a router for your network. In my case, I could also in the future potentially bond the 4 connections to create a bigger bandwidth and throughput for my application. But at the moment, I don't really need it because my infrastructure only really supports a gigabit, so a gigabit 1 port is good enough for me. The brains of the system is the Intel Xenon E3-1346 V3 edition. It's using the LGA 1150 socket and running at 3.5 GHz. The system also uses crucial memory, 16 gig in total, which is made up of 2 8 gig sticks running at 1600 MHz. Powering the system is a Seasonic 550 watt G series power supply, which is rated for 80 plus gold and has a modular design which reduces cable clutter within the server case, improving airflow, and it's just easier to work on in general. For the most optimal performance of the virtual machines, an Intel SSD is used as the boot drives for the VMs. There are 4 hard drives connected to the LSI host bus adapter, which is passed through to the FreeNas virtual machine instance, which enables ZFS RAID operation. One of the 4 hard drives connected to the controller is just a single hard drive running by itself, and that's just a general purpose storage drive for non-large important files. All these hard drives are Western Digital RAID drives, as they are designed to be operated 24/7 and in close proximity of other drives as well. It also has the benefit of a little bit longer warranty period as well. Enclosing all these components is a Fractal Design R5 case, which has sound deadening foam on all sides of the panels to lower the audible noise that comes out of the computer as it's operating. The case still offers decent airflow for performance as well. The case is quite nice and sturdy, made from metal, and has decent front I/O selection with the buttons on top for easy access, and the fan also contains an air filter to try and lower the dust particles making their way into the case. This is my home server using virtual machine to power the multiple VMs, and now we're going to jump onto the VMware control panel on our PC. So the screen we're looking at now is called a Vsphere Client. Now this is the client that connects to the VMware server that I just showed you in the previous shot. So once you log in, you can see the IP address of the machine, and you can customize all the settings here for that machine. You can take a look at the summary. That will show you the manufacturer of your motherboard, the model number, the CPU, so it's 4-core, 8 threads, Intel Xenon CPU. The license we have is just a super simple one. I believe this is the free one that they offer. Single CPU, 4 cores, 8 threads, hyperthreading is activated, number of NICs. Yep, so this motherboard has 4 Ethernet jacks, which is pretty cool. We're only using just the one at the moment. We could do in the future bonding of the NICs, so that will give us extra throughput, but that's a future project. There are 2 virtual machines at the moment, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you can do here, so that's pretty cool. You can see all the settings here, CPU usage, so it's not being used that much at the moment. Virtual machines, we have 2 machines at the moment, so we have a FreeNas machine, like a Windows server I've got up and running. And yeah, it shows you a whole bunch of stuff, performance. You can do your configuration here, and some users, that's your basic stuff, events, and permissions. So let's look at our FreeNas system. So our FreeNas is FreeBSD. This is the operating systems, but it's a FreeNas system. I've configured it so it uses 4 cores, 4 virtual cores that's available, and 8 gig of memory. They say about 8 gig. I think they say it's about 1 gig per terabyte or so, but 8 gig should be fine. That's the local IP address on the network. The starter store is its operating system. It's only really small. It's only about 5 gig or so. It's really small, but I've got that on the SSD to offer that offers the best performance. And you can see some stats for just the FreeNas instance, some performance charts, events, and then the console is the actual screen. It will actually show you the video feed of the screen that you would see on the monitor through here as well. So that's pretty cool. You can see this is already all set up previously, but you can administrate your version of FreeNas from here, no problems at all. All the functions and commands all works. It's just like if you're looking at a screen, but you're using a mouse and keyboard instead. So that's pretty cool. So Windows Server's job, I've got a couple apps running in there all the time. One of the core ones I use is actually Bittorrent Sync. I use with my Windows Server installation copy there. I could have used it with FreeNas, but I prefer the Windows Server, because I do have a bunch of other stuff on there that's pretty cool. And what that does, it allows me to sync up my home desktop, my laptop, and all that, and it syncs up all in real time because I have at least one instance running, and that's this Windows Server on my home virtualized machine, which is really handy. So that means I'll have a copy of my work always on the time. So this is my personal little Dropbox kind of drive configuration, which is really handy, and I'm not uploading to any cloud infrastructure, so it's all local storage stuff. And yeah, it's really handy. I can go to university, I can go wherever, open up my notebook, my Mac even, I can open that up and I'll be able to access files through the Windows Server instance I have here, so which is really handy. But yeah, that's the Vsphere Client. You can start, stop, pause, you can do whatever, refresh, it's all here, and yeah, it's really handy. And one thing I wanted to show you is with our FreeNas. So let's go into the settings, edit settings. So here we can see that all the memory, CPUs, video card. But one thing that I'll show you here is this SCIS controller, and that's configured to use our LSI RAID card. But you can see here it's got a PCI device 0, so that's the pass-through card. And I've set that to our actual PCI Express device, see? So it's just saying there's a few things that the VMware server cannot perform on those drives because they're basically passed through the virtual machine straight to our FreeNas, which in this instance we actually want, because we want our FreeNas to handle all those hard drive commands and health monitoring and all that type of stuff. Yeah, thank you for watching. And yeah, as always guys, stay awesome.